don't see them very often. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about the Wushu Double Broadswords that we have for sale at Enso Martial Arts. I'm going to be talking all about their features, talking about who would use them, giving you all the dimensions of the double broadswords, and at the end I'm going to put together a short montage of people training with the double broadswords. Hi, my name's Doug Swift. I've been doing martial arts for the past 33 years and the owner of Enso Martial Arts for the past 16 years. If you're liking this video, click the little icon in the bottom right hand corner, subscribe to this channel and get all the latest videos and updates from Enso Martial Arts. So let's get into this video and learn all about the double broadswords we have for sale at Enso. Over the last couple of months I've been making videos on all the products in the shop, and I'm now moving on to the more advanced weapons, the more obscure stuff you don't see that often in martial arts. So these are the first probably of the obscure things that we have for sale at Enso Martial Arts. So these are the Flexible Wushu Double Broadswords. Now, like I said, you don't see them very often. They're not that common. If you go out and see like demos, or you went to a martial arts show or whatever, you're probably not going to see them. There's not that many people that teach the double broadswords, and even less that like are learning it in a class. So yeah, quite a rare weapon these days, and you don't see it, but you will if you Google it. You go on YouTube, you will see people doing it, and in the montage that I put at the end, you'll see quite a few different types of Kung Fu styles training with them. So talking about Kung Fu styles, these are mainly going to be used by the Wushu guys, and the Shaolin guys have, you know, relatively recently got really well known for doing it. The reason for that is because it looks very spectacular. It looks very flashy, spinning two swords around. You know, it's a whole lot of stuff going on, a whole load of swords whizzing all over the place, especially with the extra flags that you get on the end as well. It's become a real demonstration weapon to be able to pull out and wow the crowds. That's the point, but it will have some historical foundation in it. I guess the concept of like two swords are better than one. If you're able to spin round, you can do a lot more damage. If you're competent with the two broadswords, you can do a lot more damage, a lot more opportunities to hack and slash and strike people. I guess that's the theory behind having two broadswords. In China as well, I don't know historically if they would have always had one case for the two swords. Now, in terms of actually holding it and fighting with it, you get the flat side to the sword. So from the front, the profile looks very normal, and I guess the other side as well. But they're sort of similar to like Wing Chun knives, how they kind of sit flat together. So you can get them in one case. There is quite a lot of history in terms of using Kung Fu for protection. So working as a bodyguard, working as a bodyguard for moving money around the country. Something like this double broadsword makes perfect sense for something like that. You can have your sword strapped in, tied to yourself, and you can pull them out and look really spectacular and scary with two broadswords like a complete nutter, and you're less likely to get attacked by bandits, or people might have second thoughts. So a lot of the really big weapons, like the really big showy weapons and something like double broadswords, may have a bit of history in that, in terms of looking menacing, and that would be your job as a bodyguard, to put people off. So maybe that's where it's come from. If you know any more about the history of these, stick it in the comments, because it'd be really interesting to know. So let's look at some of the features of these double broadswords. So like I said earlier, the two swords do sit together effectively to make one hilt and then come apart. So there again, you do also see people like demonstrating this in demos or competitions, whatever, about pulling them apart and being spectacular that you've suddenly got two swords. And these are made out of sprung steel, so fairly rigid down the lower end of the sword, so it gives it a sort of fairly rigid feel, not much flex, and then at the end it bends almost 180 degrees, flicking back to its place. Now this has become very popular, like in Wushu and in Shaolin, having these swords. I know there's a lot of controversy over them. A lot of people don't like it because it's not traditional, it's not battle ready steel or used for combat, but the point of these is to be very, very light, so you're able to be very fast, very sharp, and look very flashy in demos and competitions. One of the other benefits is it does make a noise. So it shakes around, so while you're doing your demonstration you've got flags going all over the place, you've got a load of noise, and when you thrust them out they do make a whipping sound, which also adds to the demonstration, adds to the whole kind of spectacle. Now there's a lot of like spinning with these, so you get people, you're seeing them doing a lot of thrusting, you're seeing people doing a lot of spinning, a lot of like spinning them round and round and round and round, and spinning behind their backs, doing like all kinds of stuff. Now, so you can have loads of fun with double broadswords. There's so many techniques to do, and there's so many opportunities to kind of whack yourself and whatever. Now be careful, because it does get very, very thin. I don't even know if you can see the thickness of the end of these on the camera, but these are very, very thin. Now they're not sharp at all, but you can cut yourself on this. And now it's not because it's sharp, it's not sharp at all. You can see me running my fingers down it, but just because it does have a certain amount of structure to it, being a metal sheet, and you are spinning it round, if you catch it on a bit of squishy flesh, you're probably going to cut yourself. So if you have it like, just like nick the underbit of your chin or nick your hand, you do see people cutting themselves on it, and you can get fairly nasty cuts. So this is why, I mean, one of the reasons why you won't get onto this until much later on in your Shaolin or Wushu training, because of the risk of cutting yourself. So it's good to be really proficient with a single broadsword first, and really have that down, and also like with your left hand too, and then you can move on to something like double broadsword when you've got used to having that sort of relatively not sharp but dangerous-ish weapon spinning around. Now obviously if you want to go and hack someone with this, it's not particularly dangerous. You know, it's not sharp, it's not designed to be hit against stuff, it's not a combat weapon at all. But like I said, you end up doing more damage to yourself, and you just be mindful of that. I mean, really, don't move on to this weapon until you're proficient with a lot of the other Shaolin weapons out there. Just having a look at the dimensions of these. Now I'll give you the dimensions of one of the swords, but all of the dimensions I'll put up on the website so you know exactly what you're buying, but I'll just give you a few measurements now just so you've got an idea of what you're getting. So the total length of the sword is just over 3 feet, so it comes in at 37 centimeters or 93 centimeters or 37 inches. Now the blade length comes in at 30 inches or 76 centimeters. Just looking at the weight of these, the individual swords weigh in about 460 grams. So at Enso Martial Arts we have quite a wide range of broadswords. So as well as the double broadswords, we also have the single flexible wushu broadsword. We have the red oak wooden broadswords and the rigid aluminium broadsword. We also have the very rare 9-ring aluminium broadsword, and a whole range of other weapons, Tai Chi swords, straight swords, bow staffs. So check out the website to see a whole range of weapons. So as promised at the beginning of the video, here is a short montage of people training with the Wushu Double Broadsword. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it was useful. I hope you learned loads about the double broadswords we have for sale at Enso. If you like this video, remember to subscribe to the channel. Get all the latest videos and updates from Enso Martial Arts. Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Cheers!